dissatisfaction against?
The BJP dispensation,
Yeah,
whether in Delhi or in Assam. In Assam, I must say it's the first time I saw a very dispirited, weak campaign by the BJP. अगर दिल्ली में भी मैं किसी को बोलूँ कि मैं असम का MP होंगे तो होंगे असम में. As if we are MP only in Assam, not in Delhi.
Hello, welcome to PTI's show at 4 Parliament Street. In the far corner of India, the BJP machinery seemed like an unstoppable juggernaut until the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. The person who played a major role in halting the BJP march in the northeast is Gaurav Gogoi of the Congress. With only 30 days in his hand to campaign, he wrested the Jorhat Lok Sabha constituency in Assam from the BJP, which had won the seat twice in 2014 and 2019. It was not just his win, but also the scale of his victory by nearly 1.5 lakh votes that has won him accolades from his party members as well as from his opponents. Gaurav Gogoi is the son of Tarun Gogoi, the late former chief minister and a towering figure in Assam politics. Gaurav came to national attention when, as the deputy leader of the Congress in Lok Sabha, he opened the debate on the vote of no confidence against the Modi government in August 2023 with a hard-hitting speech on Manipur. Articulate in English, Hindi and Assamese, Gaurav is a youth icon and a rising star in his party. He is seen by many as a potential chief ministerial contender in Assam. Gaurav is with us today to talk about his famous win from Jorhat, the revival of Congress, the road ahead for the opposition, and his predictions for Modi's new NDA government. Gaurav, welcome to PTI.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure to have you here. I'll start off, you mentioned your father. I'll start off by asking you, you have really big boots to fill. Your father was a colossal of the Congress politics in the Northeast. What has been the journey like to fill his shoes and to carry on his legacy?
The aim is not to fill his shoes. The aim is to keep him alive in the way I practice my politics. The aim is to keep his vision of Assam relevant. And the aim is to keep the Congress party in Assam focused on those issues which matter to him. I look up to him as a benchmark. I look up to him as a voice of conscience, and I look up to him as a philosophical guide.
So in the last parliament, the opposition had a much smaller number, yet the opposition managed to remain very vocal, and as a result, it led to many disruptions and walkouts and maybe even expulsions. Now you have a much larger body in the opposition. Will we expect much more, a more robust, more stronger voice, and will it lead to more disruptions in Parliament?
See, as I said, I don't expect the BJP's approach to parliamentary democracy to change till the time Narendra Modi ji is the Prime Minister. He simply does not have the flexibility to change his approach, whether within his own party. I'm sure even now his cabinet colleagues will not know what the PMO is saying, and PMO will direct the cabinet colleagues. Even now, I believe the allies will keep demanding special status, caste census, revoking Agnipeeth in Bihar, as we've heard, Agniveer, as we've heard from the leadership. And I don't think that is going to change his approach to allies. And till the time he is there as the Prime Minister, their approach to Parliament, I don't think is going to change. They will still try to bulldoze. They will still try to suspend. They will still try to disqualify. They will still try to poach. But yes, as in football, when there were only 3 defenders, now we have our wall is much more bigger and much more robust. And that's our role. That's what the public expects us. That's what the public voted on. And that's what we hope to do.
Were you a little surprised that the NDA allies, especially TDP and JDU, they did not ask for, and they gave in so easily. They accepted whatever the PM was dictating.
Chandrababu Naidu ji and Shri Nitish Kumar ji, the chief ministers of Andhra Pradesh and the chief minister of Bihar, are politically one of some of the most shrewd political leaders, and they have some of the most shrewd political, both of them possess some of extremely shrewd political mind. And I don't think we should be so quick to judge them, and only time will tell of what their true intentions are.
Are they by any chance the Trojan horse, India bloc's Trojan horse in the NDA?
As I said, it is not correct for me as a former deputy leader to comment on the chief ministers. They have my utmost professional respect, and as I have said, they are both are extremely politically sound and shrewd and I'm saying shrewd in the most gentlest interpretation, and it should not be taken as any other in any other form. So only time will say. And as I said, when they do press with their demands, and when they do counter an approach of the BJP or a position of the BJP, does Prime Minister Modi have the large-heartedness to take them along and listen to them?
Gaurav, I want to take your attention to Ghulam Nabi Azad's book. In this book, he's mentioned that when Himanta was unhappy and he was tasked to pacify him, he was about to go and do that, but he was stopped by Rahul Gandhi and said, no, there's no need to do that. And when that conversation happened, you and your father were present in that room. And because of all of that, Congress perhaps lost a fine leader in the region and had to pay in the entire, not just in Assam, but the entire Northeast. Did that conversation happen?
I don't think Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad Saab's book is 100% non-fiction. I don't think it qualifies to be in the non-fiction category. There's a lot of romanticization in the book. I have not read the book. I've read that passage. So I don't think it is a non-fiction. And therefore, if it's actually a fictional book, then it is up to the author's interpretation. I must say I'm grateful that when there was a leadership conflict within the Assam Congress as to who should be the leader of Congress vis-a-vis Chief Minister Narendra Gogoi or at that point of time Himanta Biswa Sarma, I must give credit to Rahul Gandhi ji for seeing Himanta Biswa Sarma, the underlying traits that we have seen in his campaign speeches over the last few months. Such a person clearly does not deserve to be the head of the Congress party anywhere in this country.
We read that you were reluctant to be a politician. Your father, has mentioned that it took a fair bit of convincing for him to, bring you towards politics. Is that true, and why so?
Yes, I must say that part is genuine non-fiction. Because I was pursuing a career in non-profit prior to joining politics. And I, having grown up in Delhi, I was never the one who would say, do you know who my father is? I was the opposite. If people used to ask me, when my father was chief minister, so, as people do in Delhi, so who are you? What does your father do? Where do you live? So, I used to say, where do you live? I live in and around Ramonhol Hospital. Very ambiguous. You never know which part of Ramonhol. And then they would ask me, so what does your father do? He works in the government. And then that would just kill the conversation. Because I always wanted to have my own identity, whether outside of politics or within politics. And I did not want to be treated differently just because somehow the other person in front of me got to know who my father was, because I wanted to have a genuine interaction. So for the longest time, I worked, when I joined the private sector, and people say, Gogoi, Tarun Gogoi, wo Assam ke chief minister hai. Not say he's my father. And what does your father? He also in the government. So, the person, was like, why is this person not admitting that, who his father is? And when they would, I remember, in university, when they found out after 2 years, they said, what a strange chief minister's son you are. Again, in Delhi style, like, अगर मेरे पिताजी मुख्यमंत्री होते तो मैं दिखाता इस कॉलेज में कि मैं कौन हूँ. हाँ, ठीक है. So, and even when I just started spending time in Assam, I used to just roam, and because having come from an NGO background, I already knew who are the good NGOs in Assam. And I used to just travel crisscross the length and breadth of Assam through my NGOs, and nobody used to know. And I used to just find out what are the issues of education, livelihood, dairy farming, fish farming, falana. So that's why my interest was in public policy. My interest remains in public policy. And politics for me became very much more attractive because in Assam, I saw politics bring about peace in a state with a history of conflict and insurgency. And that is why I spoke with so much pain during the no confidence motion on Manipur. Because in Manipur, I've seen politics bring about instability, murder, violence, rape in a region which was relatively peaceful for the last few years. So that is what brought me to politics, when I understood its role in conflict and peace and stability.
So, one of the most popular sayings in Delhi, or a joke about Delhi, is कि anybody who is anybody loves to say, तुम जानते नहीं मेरा बाप कौन है. I'm assuming that you never had to use that.
वही तो कहा मैंने कि मैंने कभी नहीं बोलना पड़ा. मुझे कभी ये बोलने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ी कि आपको कि आपको पता है कि मैं किसका बेटा हूँ. तो कभी ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ी. मैं हमेशा मेरे पिताजी की जो स्थिति है एक प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री, उसको मैं कहीं छुपाना चाहता था, क्योंकि मैं लोगों के साथ एक जेन्युइन, एक वास्तविक रिश्ता, एक वास्तविक दोस्ती बनाना चाहता था. मैं नहीं चाहता था कि मेरे दोस्त मेरे पास आ रहे हैं क्योंकि उनको लगता है कि मैं उनको बहुत कुछ भी अलग, किसी भी प्रकार का उनको मदद कर पाऊँगा जहाँ पे मुझे अपने पिताजी की ज़रूरत पड़े. और जब भी मैं किसी काम में करता था, जब मैं मुंबई में एयरटेल में काम करता था, मुंबई लोकल से जाता था, मैं चाहता था कि लोग अगर मुझे सम्मान दे तो वो मेरे काबिलियत पर सम्मान मिले. मुझे वो झूठा सम्मान, वो हाँ जी हाँ जी, जी हाँ जी हाँ, जी हुजूर, वो वाला सम्मान नहीं चाहिए था. अगर मुझे सम्मान मिले तो काबिलियत पर मिले, और अगर मेरे से कोई गलती हो रही है तो लोग मुझे फिर बोलें और डांटें, ये नहीं कि डर के मारे मुझे वो साफ साफ ना बताएं. तो मैंने कभी भी अपने पिताजी का नाम इस्तेमाल नहीं किया.
Which college were you studying?
भारतीय विद्यापीठ इंद्रप्रस्थ यूनिवर्सिटी.
So one,
अगर दिल्ली में भी मैं किसी को बोलूँ कि मैं असम का MP होंगे तो होंगे असम में. As if we are MP only in Assam, not in Delhi.
Mr. Gogoi, India bloc has the number to provide a strong opposition to NDA in the parliament. But if an opportunity comes and if you see cracks, will you reach out to your old friends and allies in JDU and TDP? And did you seriously make an effort when the results were out to reach out to them in any way?
See, as I said, the leadership of the Congress party is provided in the matters of alliance by Shri Mallikarjun Kharge ji. And he has always been a consultative leader. Within the party also, I've had the fortune of working with him in 2014 Lok Sabha when he was the leader, LOP then. And therefore, any approach to be taken would be a consultative approach. It would be an India strategy to whatever political events occur in the near future.
Since you entered electoral politics, you had your father alongside you. This is the first time that you did not have him. Must have been difficult. Was it difficult to strategize for the elections in some ways?
Yes, I must say it was difficult because I was given a constituency with only 30 days to prepare. because my previous constituency got drastically changed due to delimitation conducted in the state of Assam last year. So with only 6 months left, the entire political map of Assam had changed. And out of the 14 constituencies, my constituency was the one which was most radically altered in terms of demography and geography. Right. Every other constituency did undergo change because of delimitation, but it was, let's say, a slightly less significant change in terms of geography and demography. Mine went through a radical change. It was unrecognizable. But we had to follow, so we didn't know, or I didn't know where I would be contesting from. While I did continue to be an MP to my old constituency, but it had been splintered. And I had no idea where to go or where will I be given. So I was a bit clueless. But we followed the procedure of the party of the Central Election Committee. So only when the Central Election Committee meeting was held sometime in mid of the second week of March 11th, if I'm correct, that is when I know where I'm contesting my election, which seat I have been given. So since March, whatever, I filed my nomination on the 22nd. So in a new, in this new landscape, I think had he been here, he would have guided me as to who are the people to meet, because I don't know who the grassroots workers are. I may know the senior leaders, but I don't know the grassroots workers. I don't know the organization. I used to go around doing small panchayat level meetings and collecting numbers as I'm doing my campaigning, because I need to know who are the people who would spread our message in every nook and corner, who are the people who would take our publicity material forward. So that familiarization period would have been much shorter had he been there. But as I said, I remembered him, and he had a can-do spirit, a fierce spirit. I think it's with that spirit I entered the election, and I conducted myself the way he would have conducted, with a lot of aggression, but at the same time maintaining the dignity of Assam and politics.
So that made the victory sweeter.
The victory would have been sweetest if he was alive. We would have had a celebratory hug. We have this traditional Assamese liquor, which he doesn't consume, but I do. But I might have encouraged him to have a sip. So that would have been the sweetest.
Jorhat, it was seen as a tough seat. And more importantly, the Chief Minister of Assam, I think he had sleepless night, spending most of the time in Jorhat to ensure the BJP candidate wins. But he lost to you. So what does it mean to you and also to the Congress in future?
So why was Jorhat tough? Jorhat was tough because we lost the election in 2019 with a margin of 80,000 votes. Jorhat was tough because we lost the election in 2014 with a margin of just over 1 lakh. Jorhat was also tough because out of the 9 constituencies which are part of the new Jorhat, Congress had won only 2 seats, and one was won by an opposition. And in the Chief Minister's own words at the beginning of the election, it was for this reason that Jorhat to the BJP was a sure shot. In fact, the Chief Minister in a press conference also referred to the new shape of Jorhat post-delimitation, and he referred to this seat of Majuli, which was earlier part of a different Lok Sabha constituency, and in this election was included in Jorhat. And again, Majuli was a stronghold of the BJP, where they take in the previous assembly election a margin of 30,000 votes. And they had taken some other areas in which BJP was strong and Congress was weak and put forward and included them in Jorhat. So on paper, Jorhat, given past Lok Sabha record, past assembly record, past panchayat election record, was a tough election. And they had poached Congress senior leaders from that area. And I had only 30 days in my hand, in totally new area. So on paper, it was a tough election, but in the end, it became a very easy election. because the way the people responded with such love and with such affection. People flew in from Dubai and Australia to cast in their vote. Students left their studies in Bangalore and Pune to cast in the vote. So it became actually a very pleasurable experience, even though I had to put in a lot of effort.
What worked for you? Why did so many people turn up even from abroad?
I think people in this election were just found Congress a credible platform to vent their dissatisfaction.
Dissatisfaction against?
The BJP dispensation,
in
whether
what?
in Delhi or in Assam.
Okay.
And also for the Chief Minister, even though he is representing Guwahati, prior to the election, he had said that in the assembly elections 2 years from now, he wants to contest, he wants to shift his assembly seat from Guwahati and come to Jorhat. And the factors that went against the BJP at the national level, in UP, in Rajasthan, are the same factors that worked in Assam. In Assam, I must say it's the first time I saw a very dispirited, weak campaign by the BJP. I was expecting a much more forceful, meaningful, impactful campaign from the BJP, and that's why my planning was for that. In 2014, people in Assam were talking about, we also want to see Gujarat model. In 2019, people were caught up in the events leading up to 2009. In 2024, it was a very localized election. People were looking at local issues, state issues, and there was no visible, tangible impact of Prime Minister Modi and his campaign. In 2022, when the party was at its weakest, we organized the Chintan Shivir in Udaipur. We were चिंतित. नहीं तो चिंतन शिविर क्यों करते? पार्टी चिंतित थी, इसलिए हमने उस समय एक चिंतन शिविर हमने आयोजन किया. उस चिंतन शिविर में हमने महसूस किया कि इस समय हमको एक साथ आना है. वो ज़रूरत थी उस समय की, एक साथ आना, एक दूसरे को हौसले देना. और उस माहौल को भी आप समझ सकते थे कि 2-3 दिन के चिंतन के पश्चात भी जब अंत में सोनिया गांधी जी ने अपना भाषण दिया तो उनको कहना पड़ा हमको हौसला देने के लिए, वी विल ओवरकम. एक बार नहीं, 3 बार. तो हम वो हमारी मानसिक स्थिति थी कि सोनिया जी को हमें कहना पड़ा एंड में, वी विल ओवरकम, वी विल ओवरकम, वी विल ओवरकम. तो वहाँ से अगर आप कड़ी आप देखें उस समय से, तो आज हम जहाँ पर हैं, हम बहुत आगे निकल चुके हैं और आगे जाना भी है. और इसमें जो हौसला हमें उस समय सोनिया गांधी जी से मिला, उसके बाद हमें राहुल गांधी जी का नाम जोड़ना ही पड़ेगा कांग्रेस रिवाइवल के साथ, क्योंकि कांग्रेस पार्टी ने उनसे कहा कि राहुल जी यात्रा करें, तो उन्होंने यात्रा की. लेकिन इससे पहले कोई बस यात्रा या गाड़ी यात्रा या ट्रक की यात्रा नहीं, पैदल यात्रा की उन्होंने 2022 में. 2022 में उन्होंने के सितंबर से उन्होंने पैदल यात्रा शुरुआत की, लगभग 4000 किलोमीटर से ज़्यादा, जो जनवरी के 2023 में जम्मू कश्मीर में ख़त्म हुई, जिसका परिणाम हमको 2023 के कर्नाटक इलेक्शन में मिला. कांग्रेस के कैंपेन में 100 विषय हो सकते थे. इन 100 विषयों में से 4-5 विषय को प्राथमिकता लाने में सबसे अहम भूमिका राहुल जी की थी. तो उन्होंने एक नैतिक नेतृत्व दिया, उन्होंने एक सांगठनिक हमको नेतृत्व दिया, जिसका परिणाम हमको लोगों के जनादेश में इस बार मिला. मणिपुर में 2 सीट, मेघालय में एनडीए दोनों सीट हारी, हम 1 सीट जीते. नागालैंड में 90 के दशक के बाद हम पहली बार नागालैंड वी हैव वन कांग्रेस. जोरहाट, लास्ट टाइम वी वन जोरहाट वाज इन 2009, we won. Dhubri, a seat which was the bastion of a regional party, which used to act as a vote cutter, like Asaduddin Owaisi's party, AIUDF. We won that with the record margin. The largest margin of 2024 election comes from Dhubri. So, this revival has begun since Udaipur in 2022, and it's only going to go on, and we have much to do. Because we're not doing it for us, we're doing for the ideas that Rahul Gandhi ji has outlined, which is democracy, constitution, autonomy of parliamentary institution, and therefore I do see in the 232 numbers of India Alliance, we will have a parliament where they cannot bulldoze bills, where they cannot intimidate us, where they cannot suspend us. पिछले बार तो 146 MP सस्पेंड किए थे, अब क्या 232 करेंगे इस बार? तो बहुत से चीज़ हैं, और इस संख्या में मुझे नहीं लगता, इस परिस्थिति में मुझे नहीं लगता कि प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी में वो काबिलियत है कि वो एक संगठित सरकार को चलाएं। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी अपने कैबिनेट को विश्वास में नहीं लेते। जब डिमोनेटाइजेशन किया तो वित्त मंत्री को नहीं पता था, जब 370 लाए उनके कैबिनेट को नहीं पता था, अग्निवीर उनके कैबिनेट को नहीं पता था। तो जो अपने खुद के ही कैबिनेट को विश्वास में नहीं ले सकते, तो वो एनडीए अलायंस को क्या लेंगे? एक नेता जो एक संगठित सरकार चला रहा हो, वो चाहे वाजपेयी जी की सरकार हो और डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह, you need an open mind, an inclusive approach, the ability to listen, and the ability to be flexible. And the way Prime Minister Modi, ever since he was the Chief Minister of Gujarat, the absolute way his leadership style is defined by does not lead to confidence that he can complete 5 terms successfully.
Gaurav ji, the BJP says that it fell short of a majority only by a few seats, but the NDA clearly crossed the halfway mark. So how is it their defeat and a victory of the Congress, which only got 99 seats? And going by your state also in Assam, both the BJP and the Congress have held on to their positions, the BJP getting 9 seats. So how do you call this? What do you say of this?
The BJP fighting on their own. Last I checked, they were fighting as NDA. And were we fighting on our own? Last I checked, we were fighting as India Alliance. What's the difference between the NDA Alliance and the India Alliance? Mere 50 seats. So why are we talking about 2 parties when they are, why are we ignoring the fate of Shiv Sena Shinde in Maharashtra or NCP Ajit Pawar in Maharashtra? Why are we not talking about the NPP in Meghalaya, which lost 2 its seats? The Chief Minister's family, he lost his family bastion of Tura. So if you look at that as NDA versus India, now, for us, we were fighting as India. Prime Minister Modi might have forgotten. And now he remembers them with fondness and rises up. He might have forgotten that he was part of NDA. But we are clearly remember that we fought as India. And of course, you can see the numbers. Look at Uttar Pradesh. Compare the margins of Rahul Gandhi ji and Prime Minister Modi. Prime Minister Modi was trailing in Varanasi. Trailing. And Rahul Gandhi ji is won with a 3 lakh plus margin in Raebareli, in supposedly a state where the Ayodhya Mandir was consecrated and a double engine government is running. So clearly, one can't just do political analysis by look at numbers. The numbers tell a story, and one would understand what is the story. And the story is that people of India have taught a lesson in humility to Prime Minister Modi.
Also on the Congress revival, the 99 seats, isn't this recovery pretty slow? Going by, you've taken 10 years to reach this level. So hasn't this recovery been very slow?
See, given the fact that media thought that we would get less than 2019, and we can always go back to who said what and on which platforms. So given that that's the narrative being pushed, where we are right now, I think it's quite good. Because that's what the Congress party is against, and that's what Rahul Gandhi ji is against. It's not just the BJP party, but it's those who shape public opinion. It are those who enforce laws like the Election Commission, and it is those who implement the laws like the income tax and the ED. So we are fighting against. It's not the BJP who froze our account. So it's not. Look at the chief ministers who are in jail. So, I mean, I must say, had we not got this verdict, we would have seen more of what we saw in the run-up to this election. More political parties being broken, more chief ministers being sent to jail, more people who have joined the BJP, their ED cases being lifted. What is the first decision of this new government? ED case against NCP leader being lifted. So we would have seen more of that. And hopefully now the country has fought back through its vote.
As you said, in the Northeast, the Congress got success in this election. Nagaland, Meghalaya, Manipur, in Assam, you maintained the tally. So, but BJP is still a dominant player in the Northeast. So, how do you want to, carry forward this?
See, we must break this narrative of BJP is dominant in the Northeast. BJP has a government in Assam, and BJP has a government in Manipur, and BJP has a government in Arunachal. It's a regional party in Meghalaya. It's a regional party in Sikkim. It's a regional party in Mizoram. Am I missing any? I'm missing one more. Mizoram, Tripura. Okay, Tripura, they are there. But in many other cases, it's the regional parties. So let us not, give too much influence. It's not as all 7 states are under BJP, right? Secondly, look at the response of the NEDA convener or the BJP convener for the Northeast. The Chief Minister says that the losses in Manipur, Meghalaya, and Nagaland are because a particular religion went against the BJP. What kind of message is that? Do his counterparts in Nagaland and Meghalaya and Mizoram, do they support the Chief Minister? What is the public view of that of the Chief Ministers? I must say, even the BJP of Nagaland and the BJP of Meghalaya and the BJP of Mizoram, do they agree with the Chief Minister? That is the analysis. That a religion, a particular religion, Northeast was, and will forever be the home of multiple religions. A Christian is as safe as in the Northeast as a tribal, as someone from the Hindu faith. And this seems to be the pattern across India also. In other states, they are blaming another religion. And BJP are now blaming people in Ayodhya also. Everybody is to blame except for BJP. Ayodhya people are to blame. A particular faith in Nagaland is to blame. And a particular faith is to blame in some other part of this. Again, I don't want to make it about Assam, but phase by phase, he's a seasonal politician. And therefore, in these 3 phases also, his tune changed. In phase 2, in Nagaon, where in a minority-dominated seat, where there was the BJP, there he used to go to those areas and dance with them. And the story became, oh, BJP is changing. They are now getting votes from all communities. And minute Assam got finished, he went to Telangana and Odisha and started saying very regressive things. So his own colleague in BJP, after this result, while congratulating me, has called him a migratory bird. And had the NDA government fallen, this person would have been the first to leave from the BJP. In the future also, the day NDA falls, for the same reasons he joined the BJP, which is to protect himself from CBI inquiries into Sharda, IT. Now, ab to aur bhi aage hain. Your colleagues in Assam will tell you. That will be the same reason for which he will leave the BJP in the future.
Will Congress accept him back?
We are a democratic party.
You said
We will. Every decision has to be deliberated. Even if we have to say no, it will be deliberated. And we will not forget what all has been spoken against us and our leadership.
you just now said the day NDA government falls.
Yes, yes.
You're saying that with certainty. You think how much time are you giving them?
No, he will. I'm talking about the person.
No, but how much time are you giving the NDA government?
As I said, the Prime Ministers will not complete 5 years.
Now, in the last parliament, you were the deputy leader of the party in the Lok Sabha. Will we see you coming back and playing the same responsibility? And how important is it for Mr. Rahul Gandhi to be the leader of the opposition, according to you, this time around?
See, as for my future, the party will let me know at its appropriate time. Not before, not later. Which seat I was supposed to contest from, I also did not know. So they let me know at the appropriate time after the appropriate deliberations that the CEC was conducted. So as to my future, I will wait and abide by whatever the party says. Vis-a-vis Rahul Gandhi ji, as I said, the party has asked above and beyond from him to do one yatra, do another yatra. Rahul Gandhi ji's house has been taken. His MP was temporarily was snatched away from him. He has faced countless hours answering questions from the ED. He has he has many defamation cases against him in courts across the country, now including Assam also. So we continue to ask more than beyond we should, and he continues to give because he believes in the idea of India, in the cause for fighting for the idea of India and taking India back to the high standards of democracy that the world recognizes India for. So we have made our request and we will wait for his decision.
Gauravji, congratulations once again on a very fabulous victory. And your campaign actually was very spirited, intense, and positive. And the campaign triggered positivity in other constituencies also. So in that context, after your victory, you said you will not be long outside Assam, and you will strengthen Congress party in the state. So can we expect any organizational role for you in Assam, or can we expect you to be the face of Congress as the chief ministerial candidate to take on Himanta Biswa Sarma in the next assembly elections?
No, what I can only communicate to the party leadership is not a position, it's just time. Because already as a member of parliament, we spend considerable amount of time in Delhi with our committees and parliament sessions. And I'm interested in the issues of air pollution, foreign policy. So there are a lot of these speaking events which require me to be away from Assam. And therefore, all I'm asking from the party is not a position or a role. It's just time so that I can be in Assam, besides my parliamentary commitments, to be in Assam to strengthen the party, because we have elections from in 2 years from now. And I think I think it's necessary that we do look at states going to elections this year, in 2025, in 2026, and do the necessary work for laying the ground or preparing from right from this year itself. It's important that we have elections in 4 states: Jammu Kashmir, Jharkhand, Maharashtra, Haryana. But we also have Delhi in early 2025. We have other states also. So, in 2026 we have 5 states. We have Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Pashchim Bengal, Assam, possibly even in Punjab also. I'm not, if I am correct. So, I think it's necessary for all of us to take the momentum and the positivity that has been generated and take that across the country and be mindful of states going to elections.
Your immediate priority will be to strengthen Congress in
My
Assam.
immediate priority is to strengthen Assam. I've said my elections are not over. My duty is half finished. My duty to my party is to not only win my seat of Jorhat, but to win the state of Assam. And as I said, it is like in Jorhat, it was the people's victory, it was the people's campaign. That's what's going to be in 2026, because as I traveled the length and breadth of my constituency, I had young people, young women coming up to me and breaking down and saying that, please save us from this oppression. And I think that's the learning. Many people sitting in Delhi were saying that why is the Congress party talking about constitution, democracy? These are, conceptual questions, and people on the ground are much more interested in bread and butter issues. I'm sorry, that's not the case. The most tangible of them all is how people feel. And people of this country, in the run-up to this election, seeing what was happening across, were feeling anxious, were feeling insecure, were feeling unsafe, were feeling threatened. And it is our job, not only in Assam and across India, is to remove that feeling of threat, of insecurity, of intimidation, of oppression, of suffocation. We want the people of India to live freely, follow any religion, support any political ideology of their choice, and therefore to create that sense of freedom. I think for me, when I saw that, I was immediately, on that day, I made up my mind that irrespective of the result in Jorhat, even if it's a victory, there are many people in Assam who feel like that, and my job is to make them free from fear.
If you are offered the role of the Chief Minister in Assam, would you be willing to take it? Would that satisfy?
In my experience, whatever I have, whatever I've thought, I've never got. And whatever I've never thought, I've got. I never thought of being deputy leader. I never thought of being AICC in charge of states like West Bengal so early on. I never thought I would lead the no confidence motion. So in my experience, it's better not to think too much.
So you're not thinking of being the Chief Minister?
I'm not.
You're not thinking?
I'm not thinking about myself. I'm only thinking about my state, the people, and the values that my state and this country are known for.
गौरव जी, आपने अभी मुख्यमंत्री के कुछ बयानों की बात की है, तो ढुबरी में रकीबुल हुसैन की जो जीत हुई 10 लाख की, उसके बाद नौगांवा की जो जीत थी, दोनों जगहों की जीत को लेकर के उन्होंने एक बयान दिया कि कांग्रेस पूरी तरह से मुस्लिम पार्टी बन गई है, अब कांग्रेस को हिंदुओं का वोट नहीं मिलता है। इस पर आप उनको कैसा जवाब देना चाहेंगे, किस तरह से जवाब देना चाहेंगे?
देखिए, पहले राष्ट्रीय स्थिति की बात करते हैं। तो महाराष्ट्र में बीजेपी को किसने हराया? गुजरात में जो एक महिला एक सांसद जीत के आई, वो कैसे जीत के आई? उसको किसका समर्थन मिला? अयोध्या में लोगों को किसका आशीर्वाद मिला? वाराणसी में किन लोगों ने मोदी जी के खिलाफ? तो ये धर्म को लेके मैं, जैसे कि मैंने पहले भी कहा कि निर्वाचन के हार के बाद भी आज भी बीजेपी जिम्मेवारी लेने के बजाय किसी एक विशेष धर्म को जिम्मेवार ठहरा रही है। मुख्यमंत्री नागालैंड, मेघालय में एक दूसरे धर्म को की टिप्पणी देते हैं। असम के संदर्भ में एक दूसरे धर्म को टिप्पणी देते हैं, और भाजपा के लोग अयोध्या को लेकर एक दूसरे धर्म को टिप्पणी पे देते हैं। तो मुझे यही लगता है कि जो सबक देश की जनता इस जनादेश से देना चाहती थी, वो आज भी देश के जनता की जनादेश को नहीं सुन पा रहे, नहीं समझ पा रहे। तो मैं तो देश के जनता को धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा। अयोध्या, काशी, वाराणसी, रायबरेली, महाराष्ट्र, गुजरात, राजस्थान, बांसवाड़ा में के जो हमारे आदिवासी लोग हैं, एसटी लोग हैं, उनको मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा। जो मीना समाज है राजस्थान के, मैं उनको धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा। और ढुबरी के भी मैं मतदाताओं को मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा, क्योंकि उन्होंने एक सांप्रदायिक शक्ति को हराया, और जिसके राजनीति से एक विशेष समाज की छवि खराब होती थी, उस सांप्रदायिक राजनीतिक ताकत को ढुबरी के लोगों ने हराया। उसके लिए उसका प्रभाव सिर्फ ढुबरी तक सीमित नहीं है, उसका प्रभाव पूरे असम में गूंज रहा है, और उसका प्रभाव हमको आने वाले विधानसभा चुनाव में भी दिखेगा।
आप अमेठी का नाम लेना भूल गए।
अमेठी का मैं किशोरी जी का बहुत बहुत हार्दिक धन्यवाद। उन्होंने जो सहनशीलता दिखाई, जिस प्रकार की भाषा उनके खिलाफ उपयोग किया गया है, वही भाषा अमेठी के लोग पिछले 5 वर्ष से सुन रहे थे। खाली वो भाषा हम तक सुनाई नहीं पड़ती थी। उनके खिलाफ जब उनका नाम आया तो वो उनके खिलाफ जो भाषा का प्रयोग किया गया, तब जाके हमारे कानों पे पड़ा कि हाँ, ये है स्थिति अमेठी की।
एक इसी से जुड़ा हुआ सवाल, आपको कोई इज देयर एनी इंडिकेशन कि राहुल गांधी विल कीप विच कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी?
देखिए, मैं दोबारा कहता हूँ कि हम राहुल गांधी जी से बहुत अपेक्षा करते हैं, उम्मीद से भी ज़्यादा, और उन्हें उम्मीद से भी ज़्यादा हमारे लिए परिश्रम, त्याग, बलिदान। कोई आसान बात नहीं है 4000 किलोमीटर चलना, पैदल चलना। कोई आसान बात नहीं है कि इतने सारे एक सोची समझी हुई जो प्रचार है उनके खिलाफ, उनके व्यक्तित्व खिलाफ, इस प्रचार के खिलाफ डटकर लड़ना कोई आसान बात नहीं है कि कांग्रेस जैसी विशाल पार्टी को एक नैतिक नेतृत्व देना, हमारी विचारधारा को हम ही को याद दिलाना और उस विचारधारा अनुसार निर्वाचन के समय एक रणनीति तैयार करना। तो हम तो बस, मुझे लगता है कि वायनाड की जनता उनसे अपेक्षा करती है कि वो रायबरेली छोड़े, और रायबरेली की जनता उनसे अपेक्षा करती है कि वो वायनाड को छोड़े। तो हमें अंत में राहुल गांधी जी के निर्णय के लिए रुकना पड़ेगा।
To move away a little bit on the question of the CAA, a very potent, a very emotive issue, but there was this, a bit of a controversy earlier on in the election because there was this impression that at the central level it was not such a big issue because it had not made it to the manifesto, and there was a bit of debate. But of course in Assam it's a big issue. So one, why was that so? And secondly,
why was what so?
Why was this seeming kind of the center saying something, but in Assam it was of course a big issue, the central
Center
part
being of
your
BJP
central
or
part
Congress?
of the Congress, because it did not make it to the manifesto. So the point is, why was there this kind of divergence? And secondly, was that ever an issue that came up while you were campaigning in your constituency?
So on CAA in 2019, Rahul Gandhi ji in Assam had said that if our government is formed, we will repeal CAA. So Rahul Gandhi ji has made a public position in 2019. We have always called CAA an unconstitutional position. There are many such positions on many such issues, regional level, domestic level, national level, which Rahul Gandhi ji and the Congress party has outlined. So our position has never wavered or changed on CAA, and it's a public position, it's a position made by Rahul Gandhi ji and echoed by Priyanka Gandhi ji during her campaign in Assam when she had come to Jorhat. Secondly, from the BJP's point of view, it always was an electoral issue. CAA, NRC was talked about by the BJP prior to 2021 Bengal elections when Mr. Amit Shah was explaining us what is the meaning of the word chronology. And even now, just prior to Lok Sabha elections, even the act, even though it has been 5 years since the act has been passed, just prior to the elections, the rules were notified. So the CAA was an electoral issue for the BJP for West Bengal specifically. And I'm grateful to the people of West Bengal that they've rejected the narrative and BJP numbers in Bengal has come down. It was talked about in my campaign also because in Assam, the chief minister was not serious about CAA. He was saying nobody will apply from Assam in CAA. That there will hardly be any applicants. If there were no applicants, then why did you make, why did you bring such an act? Why not? Because we have our own history with Assam Accord, and the interpretation of Assam Accord is in conflict with the implementation of CAA. Why didn't the BJP take a much stronger stance if you felt that there was not much? So, as I said, I'm grateful to the people of India who, in their sagacity and wisdom, was not distracted by issues related to Mangal Sutra and CA. They showed great wisdom, foresightedness, and the people of India have given a lifeline to Indian democracy. And people of India have sent a loud and clear message to the entire world that even if you have a person who in some platform is ranked as the most popular prime minister. In his, Varanasi, he was trailing. So I must give credit to the people of India for showing the resilience of Indian democracy, for showing the resilience of Indian democratic thought, and showing that in democracy, in true democracy, there is no one king. It is the public who are the king.
So, do you think your party should have been more unambiguous, or was it?
There was never ambiguity, in my opinion. But our position on CA had never changed. So, for us, there was no. We were never ambiguous about it.
One quick question, Gaurav, on the induction of Margareta in the Union Council of Ministers. Do you think your victory has directly helped him to gain a berth in the council? Because there's a talk, they want to checkmate the so-called resurgence of the Congress after your victory.
See, I don't like to give opinions to political rumors, but I have heard that rumor.
During your conversation, you said about the people asking you to make themselves free from fear. You also mentioned about the Kumta MLA statement about the migratory birds, and also we have heard about that ex-Nalbari MLA making statement. Under that,
so they are right now, sorry to cut you short, 2 former party presidents of the BJP, 1 former central minister of the BJP, and 2 senior MLAs of the BJP, Prokhanto Phokon and Minal Soike, all of whom have commented on the result of the Jorhat election. Most of them have congratulated me, and most of them have commented that the BJP style of campaigning was not useful. Yeah. So it's the first time I'm getting compliments from hardcore BJP leaders.
My question is, under that context, how do you assess the 3 years rule of Himanta Biswa Sarma?
I must say it's been very disappointing. Our debt has increased. Rural infrastructure has gone down. Our relationship with our own neighbors, the police of Assam and Mizoram fired at each other. We've never had that. And I'm sure he had a role to play in how Delhi, the BJP leadership sitting in Delhi, responded to the conflict in Manipur. I'm sure he had a role in crafting the lack of presence of Prime Minister Modi and central leadership in Manipur. So it has been extremely disappointing on all these factors, including education and health, especially in entrepreneurship generation, skill development, vocational training, the growth in agriculture and allied activities has also been disappointing. So it has been very, very disappointing.
I'll just round off with one final question. The election results, whatever success it has given to the opposition, would it somehow give courage to the minorities, you think? Will they feel less threatened, more reassured?
Everybody, whether you are belonging to the majority religions community or the minority religious community, everybody is much more assured. Because even people who belong to the majority religion do not identify the path taken by the BJP as the accurate path taken by, as the accurate path taught by our religious textbooks. The 4 Shankacharyas boycotted the Ayodhya consecration ceremony because they believed that what was being done is not sacred. One of them has commented on the demolition of idols when the Kashi Vishwanath corridor was being made. So I feel all those who are religious, irrespective of whether you're Hindu, Muslim, Sikh or Christian, are much more reassured about the future of this country. But there is still a threat posed by Prime Minister Modi and the BJP under his leadership.
Great. Thank you very much, Gaurav Gogoi.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.